You are now listening to the Salem music scene, starring Dave and Pelka.
Hey, welcome to the Salem music scene. I'm Pelka.
I'm Dave.
And we are at you from the Triangle here on South Liberty in Salem. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm doing okay. My
Good.
voice sounds weird because I've got a thing going.
Yeah, very, very sick. Sickly Dave today.
In a world where podcast announcers can sound like the guy in the movies, we bring you the Dave and Pelka Show.
Well, the Salem music scene.
The Salem music scene.
So we want to thank the Triangle. The Triangle, like I said, here on South Liberty, they have a jam every single Thursday, and you can come and be a part of that. Good music, good musicians, come down, have a good time. Every Wednesday, they have the DJ Jam. We're recording this on a Wednesday with Get Down, who's on the stage right now. You can't see him, but he's over there. There he is.
Oh, DJ Get Down.
He's
the man.
getting down right now.
And they've got that every single week. So come on down. They also have music every single Saturday. So come on down to the Triangle, check it out. So yeah.
In general, I would say the Triangle is one of the hidden gems of Salem. It's just a really cool place to come hang out, really cool place to drink, and a really cool place to catch a local band and hang out.
Yeah. We got to check out a show here a little while ago. It was a lot of fun. But without any further delay, we're here today with Isaac Turner.
Hi.
How are you, Isaac?
I'm good, man.
Good. So, Isaac, you're a singer-songwriter from just outside of Salem.
Yeah, Albany.
Yeah, and out of Albany.
But I work in Salem, so I'm
Right.
here most of my time.
Yeah. No, it's okay. You're a Salem brother, I would say.
I'm like a cousin.
Right.
I'm like the long lost cousin.
Right. So we know that you're working on a new album.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, so I'm a solo artist, which means that I can totally do whatever I want and not have to answer to anybody, right? And the new album, I am switching my whole live format because I started in punk rock bands a long time ago, and then I got tired of depending on people, so I ended up going solo acoustic. Anyways, the whole point is the new album is I'm trying a whole different thing. I'm changing my whole live format. I'm going to do it. I'm using a different program. It's going to be a lot more beat-driven, electronic, kind of hip-hop, kind of a side I've always had, but kind of never explored, I guess, if that makes sense.
Other than wanting to do everything kind of on your own and being able to depend on yourself, what do you think is taking you in this direction, more of an electronic, independent hip-hop direction? Like, what led to that?
Once I got away from the whole band format, I was always trying to figure out how solo performers are doing it, how they're pulling off playing these big stages by themselves. So it started off just I was copying Frank Turner and Chuck Reagan. So acoustic guitar and microphone, going out there folk punking. That's how I started my solo journey, right? And then you start playing 3-hour shows for wineries in the local circuit, and it's hard to hold people's attention with a guitar and a microphone for 3 hours.
Sure.
So I started really checking out solo artists and how they're pulling that off, and I started getting into Ed Sheeran with a looper.
Ooh.
So I brought in a loop station, and that brought out the hip-hop side of me that I used to listen to when I was a kid. And then Shaky Grave, Suitcase Drum. So I incorporated all that stuff. But then now I'm getting these electronic dudes are playing these big old festivals with MIDI controllers and launch pads and one dude playing shows that solo people can't get as a singer-songwriter.
Right.
So when I started seeing that, I started studying that whole scene and thing. And I'm trying to incorporate it into what I do now, so I can try and just keep breaking into a next level. Because it feels like every time I've kind of readjusted to try and build my sound, I've gotten just a little bit farther, if that makes sense. A little bit. So this is, it's kind of a gamble, because I'm kind of...
Right.
We'll see.
It's quite a departure from, from the, we have the LDP here. We're going to listen to a song off that a little later. Yeah, it's quite a departure. But I think you're right. I think that's the way to do that. It's I think that people are more apt to listen to something that has a little more going on. You know what I mean? So tell us a little more about the shift. So you start, the last time that anyone's heard you on a record, it's you and a guitar and then like a little bit of percussion and then a little bit of electronics, but not a ton. And so now we're going into a whole nother realm. Was that a big shift for you to make? Was it a lot of work that had to go into doing that?
Yeah, it's just a different mindset because I've always had like rules in the recording, like producing process. Like my EP, the first one I did, I was solo acoustic. I just wanted guitar, vocals, and that's how I wanted it produced. Because I wanted it to be about the song, not about the production. Right? And then as things evolved, like my sound and all that stuff, like with a looper and a suitcase drum, I wanted to make a record that, like basically what I do live. Like what you hear live. The tambourine on the snares, the snare hits, like the looper being kind of hip hop. But I accented it a little bit in the production, but I really wanted to stay true to that. So with this record that I'm working on now, I didn't want any rules. I don't want any genre rules. I don't want any production rules. I don't want anything. If I want to make a dance track, I'm going to make a dance track. If I want to make hip hop, I'm make hip. It's going to be whatever I want to do.
Sure.
So
Do it your way.
Yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I'm a little nervous, I guess, on it because it is such a drastic departure. I'm known for my guitar, and there's going to be songs I'm not going to play guitar at all.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Going from being a member of a group and having that creative collaboration, bouncing ideas off of one another, growing ideas together. What do you think of doing it kind of all by yourself? What's changed about your sound, or what do you appreciate relying only on yourself for? And then on the flip side, is there anybody that you like to go to and bounce ideas off of, or maybe sample things out before you put them in? Two-part question there.
All right, let me process.
I can ask them one at a time if you want.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with like if you have the right band, key like thing there. Because you know how it is as musicians, we're always like, people are filtering in and out of the band. It's just crazy. It's part of the reason I went solo straight up. And it's like, but when you have the perfect lineup and everything works, like it feels effortless. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah,
especially
it does.
creating. So like, and you trust these people. Like you don't have to be like, try this with the bass line or try this. Like you trust these people to totally create and work around, and it's nice. It's nice to create with people like that. And when I couldn't find those people anymore, when those people moved on or whatever, like, I love music, period. And I'm going to do it, and I'm going to pursue it with or without these people. I never went into this trying to be a solo artist. It just kind of happened because I want to play music, and I couldn't find the right people that, like, jive with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so when I went into this solo project, like, I wanted to write in the studio straight up by myself, create, produce. So it is what I am, right? But again, with this next record, like, I have no rules this time. And like, I played with the dude who actually taught me how to sing, because from punk rock you don't really sing, let's just keep it real, you scream. Right?
Yeah.
And I played in a worship team with this guy who just toured the world with this reggae Christian group. And he started teaching me how to sing, and just one of the most phenomenal musicians I've ever met or played with. And he ended up moving to Corvallis like a couple of years ago, which is close to me. And just recently, like, I started this new record, and now I'm actually collaborating with people. I brought him in the studio and basically just worked. Like, he totally helped coach my vocals on production while recording one of my songs. And then we did a song together where basically I'm picking the sounds because I don't want his old 80s reggae taste. I mean, I do, but you know what I'm saying? So I'm picking like these dance sounds.
Sure.
And then using his actual skills, and basically we're working together to just make good music with no rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds like you kind of hit on both ends what it's like to work independently, and it sounds
Yeah.
like there are some people that you trust to kind of bring in and bounce ideas off of and see, what they're thinking, but you're not relying on them as a bandmate. You're using them more of as a sounding board. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't know about you guys, man, but when I've been in bands, there's sometimes you have your bass player because he's your best friend, and you don't really think he's that good. You know what I'm saying?
Just so you know, Dave is Dave's the bassist in the band that we're in together.
I'm just saying. I'm not just saying the bass player, man. I'm not just saying the bass player. But like, you know what I mean? Every band's got the
Sure.
dude in the band sometimes.
Sure.
Who's like there because they're best friends, and music-wise, maybe you're gonna do his take on the recording.
Right. Yeah,
You know.
it's a tough thing to have to deal with, though. But I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, when you have to, like, we've all dealt with that, but we've dealt with that a couple times where it was, look, man, we like you, but I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work out.
And it sucks. It's like breaking it. You don't want to do it, but you got to do it, and then sometimes you don't do it, and you're like waiting, and you know.
Yeah, it's a
The
difficult.
first day that I met Chris, we jammed together. We had a lot of fun. He says to me, "Hey, just so you know, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to hang out with you. If we're going to be in a band, that's it. We're going to be in a band. I don't want to hang out with you. I don't care about your family. I don't care.
You
if
said
you're not
that?
good enough,
It's true,
I'll fire
man.
you."
Dang.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
to be honest with you, I mean, I appreciate honesty. I was like, all right, cool. I don't want to be friends with you anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm a horrible person, right? That's what you're thinking out there.
No, you're
But,
passionate.
He's very
Yeah,
passionate, very
it's
driven.
just-
I appreciated the passion and appreciated like the honesty.
Well, success comes with you have to have a business mindset, I think, and that's what we're going for. Now, obviously, the rules are broken and we're good buds, but, that is how it started. It was, yeah, sometimes.
We're best enemies.
Okay.
But,
We get along.
yeah. So I completely understand where you're coming from, though. Yeah, there's a lot less drama when you're doing it by yourself, which is,
Yeah, but then there isn't, like what you're saying, there isn't, like there's times I don't want to be in the studio or write or record, and like if you have the right person there with you, it totally pushes you and inspires you. Like even a line, they just sprout out, like boom, that could roll into the whole verse.
right.
So I mean, it's totally a give and take, but it's like one of those things when you're in love with it, you just make it work.
Yeah. Well, we've been
What
talking. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go.
ahead.
You go.
You go.
You guys
All
can
right.
both go at the same time. Go.
What has surprised you in working independently with only yourself? Like, what's happened? You went, oh wow, this is like a big aha moment. Anything that's happened that you think is just really cool?
I think like an actual style will emerge, because like when you have a bunch of people in a group, you have all these musical styles and ideas, and like over time something will come from that, a sound or style or whatever. And
Sure.
I think solo, it's much easier, because it's like when I would write, there would be times I would try to write a folk song. I would go after it with an idea or concept, right? And then now I don't necessarily try to do anything. I just write, and so your own sound and like style kind of emerges pretty easily. And I don't even know what mine is, honestly, at this point.
That's probably a good thing, though.
Yeah. Still
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not growing, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
So we've talked to Isaac for a little bit now. We want to go ahead and listen to some of your music. So we went ahead and we pulled a song off of the Isaac Turner EP. We are going to listen to Meant to Be.
Hey.
So this is Meant to Be by Isaac Turner off the Isaac Turner EP. Give it a listen.
LP.
The Isaac Turner LP.
Oh, my bad.
Walking along this gravel road, thinking about all the things that you've been told. Your past is just a memory. Right now is something you can't touch and you can't see. Don't get caught up in what you've done, or all the times you should have and could have, but you had to run. It's all just the way it is. Sometimes you'll lose or you'll win, but you can't pick.
We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You were meant to be. There's parts of you haven't sold. They may be buried deep, but there's something you still hold. I believe in who you are. All you need to start your fire is find your spark. You have done it all before, but you walked away and it's something you still ignore. These words are subliminal, sinking in. You don't even have to hear as long as you begin. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You were meant to be. Don't it feel good just to try? One step towards a goal, it's one more put behind. You can see it clearly now. Everything you ever wanted is just within those clouds. At the least you'll know you tried. No matter how it turns, it beats sitting by. Boy, I know that you can be anything and everything you ever wanted to achieve. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You were meant to be. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. We are who we are, maybe not anything, but it's all just the way it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You were meant to be. It was meant to be. You were meant to be.
You are now listening to the Salem music scene, starring Dave and Pelka.
Welcome back to the Salem music scene, starring Dave and Pelka. I'm Dave.
I'm Pelka.
We're still here with Isaac Turner, and we are happy to be here.
Yeah, Dave's voice is not.
It's going places. Not college, but places.
So we just listened to Meant to Be by Mr. Isaac Turner here, and that was on the Isaac Turner LP,
Yay.
not the EP, as previously stated by someone sitting here. Yeah, man. So that song's actually on 101.1 Kink, right?
Yes, sir. So it was actually a pretty cool moment. My friends were telling me that they were playing my songs on Kink FM, right? And I was like, cool, why can't I ever hear that?
Right.
Right? So I was like, I was telling all my friends, because I was getting like messages on Facebook and things, because it was getting kind of heavy airplay like when I first put this record out. And I was like, yo, somebody let me know, right? And then I remember one of my friends was like, hey, I'm listening to you on Kink FM right now. So I went and ran in the house, and like, who knows how to turn an FM dial on? I was failing for a little bit, right? And then I heard it, and it was like, you know, as musicians, it's like a big deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is.
To like hear and like, I've always wanted that, and like it was happening, and it was funny. My mom somehow pulled out a phone and was like videoing the whole thing. We made a little video and put it up, but it was a really cool moment to have that, and to like hear them talk about you, and I don't know, I feel in love right now. But
Yeah.
it was a really cool thing.
Well, it's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
what are your? Well, let me ask you this then. Kind of related to that, you know, reaching like a milestone, things like that. What are some of your favorite parts about just being a musician?
Oh man, the people you can affect. Like, it's all evolved over the years what it is, but like, you never know who you really affect. Because like, there was a moment in my time, like when I went and seen my first show, when I was like, this is it, this is my moment, I'm gonna be a musician, this is what changed me, right? So like, it's affecting those people, and like when they actually tell you, because I mean, you could be playing a horrible show or think you're playing a horrible show, and years later you're talking to this person and they started a band from that show.
Right.
So it's like, it just the people. And like one of the big moments that I remember for a fact was I used to play in this punk rock band long time ago, and I'm talking like 6 years later, this person hits me up and tells me how that band and like that scene and like that whole moment in time made her start a band. And like, it's just crazy. It's mind blowing. You don't even know. So it's the effect you can have on people and the power of it, I guess, is my answer.
Well, now I feel like we have to ask the question: what was that show? Like, what was the show, or what was the moment that you knew that's what you wanted to do?
It was Hot Water Music and Less Than Jake.
God, I love hot water music.
That's what got me into music. I was into hip hop, Tupac, Snoop Dogg, all that stuff. Right? I was a skateboarder, and my buddy was into like punk rock, right? And he was like, he had an extra ticket. I think it was the Crystal Ballroom. And he was like, hey man, you want to come? Because we were good friends or whatever, right? And I was like, not really my thing, right? But when you're that young, I don't even remember how young I was. I was like, I had nothing better to do. I was like, wait a minute.
Sure.
That sounds kind of cool. So I remember just that moment, like I was in there and like just the energy, the passion, like, and I remember seeing those dudes with Liberty spikes on stage with those Les Pauls, and like, I was completely changed. It was like being in church and finding God or something.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be that. That's gonna be me. And then I remember I set out from there. I remember I tried to get my parents to buy me a guitar immediately. Tried to talk them into it, they wouldn't do it. So I started saving my lunch money, $3 a day, stacking it underneath my stereo for like a year. I didn't eat lunch, and that's how I bought my first guitar.
Well,
But
you don't have that problem anymore.
no,
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, let's talk about that. So you're a Breedlove artist.
yeah,
Breedlove guitars made here in Oregon.
yeah, Bend, yeah.
Yeah, which is freaking cool. Tell us about that, man. How did that happen?
Man, that's a funny story.
All right.
So like basically, I used to say 2 years. Like 3 years ago, I basically went into music full time. Gave up everything, saved up money, quit my job, went after it with everything, but come what may, right? And as Isaac Turner, not a band. Like I started it about 3 years ago. This project I'm doing now, and basically, I was just going after everything. I was going after endorsements. I was emailing people. I was like, hey, I'm a singer-songwriter. I think I just put together the EP at the time. And I hit up Breedlove because I was like, hey, they're from Oregon. It's my best shot, right? Because I got nothing, right? And they're like, thanks, but no thanks. You got to have 200 shows a year. You need to have this, that, and the other thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, right? So obviously, I started playing all the time, like 2-3 times a week sometimes back in the beginning, and just hitting it hard, grinding, radio, going after just everything you could do. That's what I did every single day. Mm-hmm. And I hit him up again probably 3 months later, Like when I had everything built, I had a Facebook with likes, I had a YouTube channel with videos, I had content, media.
Right.
And I remember I hit him up again because what did I tell him? I was like, oh, hey, I just wanted to email you guys again. Basically, I got a lot more going on these days and just wanted to touch base, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, because her name is Sammy. She's way cool over at Breedlove. And she was like, here's an application, fill it out, let's see what's up. And I'll never forget when I got that back. That was another one of those moments, you know, when I was accepted into that. And it kind of felt like a little validation after giving up my entire life for it, you know, to get some kind of recognition, just something. And they are awesome, an awesome company, by the way.
Yeah.
Totally. Anytime I need anything, they're never leaving me hanging. They always got me. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. After work got me that endorsement, I should say.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Well, that's good though. That's awesome, man. That's good to hear. And then you're recently sponsored by Elixir Strings too.
Yep, very, very recently. Ah, man, maybe even a month. Not even a month.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like a Facebook stalker because I'm like,
Hey.
yeah, I've been watching your Facebook.
The
feed.
Salem music scene brings you the bleeding edge of music news in Salem. Hear it here first. Hear it here only.
Oh man. Yeah, so that was pretty cool too. Basically the same type of thing. That was actually through Twitter. So somehow that was through Twitter. I was like, I don't remember what I was doing, but I think I was talking to them on Twitter or something like that. And anyways, the dude was like, same thing. He's like, well, fill out the application, da da da. You got to do this, you got to do that. And funny story is, I filled out the application, nothing, right? And then I get an email, and it's like, we're asking all our artists what strings they like, da 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 da. And I was like, hey,
Did I get picked up?
yeah. I was like, hey, I filled out an application like 2 months ago. Like, do you know something that I don't? And they're like, oh yeah, you were accepted back in like whatever. You never got the confirmation email? I was like, nope.
I didn't even get a T-shirt. Come on.
Oh man, I was like, oh man, let me hook you up then. So I got the confirmation email, and then they asked me what strings I wanted, and they hooked me up fat. So they hooked me up for the strings I wanted, and then they sent me these new ones. They're trying way cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
way cool.
That's cool. Yeah, I use Elixir Strings for my acoustics only because they're the best. So yeah, that's awesome, man.
Very cool.
That's really, really cool.
Very cool.
So a couple questions we ask everybody that comes into the
Hey.
show.
Okay.
The first question, what do you like about playing in Salem specifically?
This is kind of my hometown now, in a way. And I really like the vibe here. Because, like, each little town has their own vibe. Like, I don't know what I can say here, but I don't necessarily like playing Portland.
Ooh, take that,
Burn,
Portland.
Rose City.
I guess, well,
That sounds horrible.
It does. I'm sorry.
Dave
the
I love you,
arsonist,
Rip City.
everybody.
but
I love you.
yeah, like Salem, it's got its own little vibe. People are cool. They're in the bars having fun. Like, people are receptive versus judging in some other places, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that. Cool.
Friend of mine, like a couple good friends of mine actually, we've kind of been working on like this underground thing of keep Salem friendly. And to me, that's what Salem is. Salem is friendly. But, you see the stickers keep Portland weird.
Yeah.
And you see things are going on in Eugene. It's kind of like a microcosm of Portland. But Salem's friendly. You stop into a bar, it's chill. You stop to get dinner, it's chill. People think, oh, Salem's so boring. It's like, no, man, Salem's friendly. Salem's chill. Like,
Oh yeah.
stop by, have a beer, listen to a band, be cool here. Salem's friendly. That's what's up.
We need to make some make Salem loud stickers. That's what we should do.
Also good.
Also good. You can be friendly and loud at the same time, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you.
Venues, you know what? The venues, like, because I do my own booking, and the venues here are very receptive and totally willing to work with you as well. As far as other places, I've booked about everywhere in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
And the venues here they're real cool, and they do help their locals out. Like, I have a relationship here where I can pretty much book it well whenever I want to.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's kind of been our experience, is that if you reach out to a venue and say, hey, we're a band and this is what we do and we'd like to come play your place, a lot of places want live local music and they're having trouble finding it, you almost have to reach out and tell people, hey, we can play, and this is what we can play, and this is how we'll do it. And if they've got the space and the, you know, and they're free that night, you're in. And if you can bring people, you'll get in again. I mean, it's been really easy sometimes for us to find shows because I'm like, you're a band? Yeah, come on over.
Yeah. Like, okay, so check this out. We're at the Triangle, right? And I have a story here, right? This band was touring from California, or I think they were from LA or something, right? And I work at Guitar Center. And they're asking me, they're like, hey, we're on tour and we don't have a show and we're like stopped here for a few days. You know how hard it is to try and book a show in that short of time in a venue?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, you know what? You should go hit up the Triangle. They hit up the Triangle and they were in here playing that night and I was opening for them all within hours.
That's awesome.
So yeah, the venues are real cool here, real receptive. Even if you're not a local, like it's really cool that they totally help grow their scene and they're about it, you know. Like there's a lot of places it's very hard to play, you know.
Salem's friendly.
Hey.
All right, so the next question we ask everybody: what are some things you'd like to see change in the Salem music scene, or some ways you'd like to see it grow?
Well, I like the Salem music scene. It's friendly, like you're saying, but I think all of the music scenes, even Salem included, I think we should all try and help support local music, period.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to somebody about, like, just come out and check out your friend's band. Just coming out to the show, showing support, or even trying it. Because I've seen some local bands that are just awesome. And I've seen some big bands that really aren't, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, your friend's going to go see them because they're paying $50 a ticket and they're going to get one for free. But they're not going to go downtown Salem to go see somebody just because they're local. So I think just a little more reception to the fact that they're local bands.
Yep. Every band was a local band.
That's true.
Every band started, you know, with, you know, run-of-the-mill equipment and just playing dive bars.
Yeah.
And,
So, yeah.
And they got bigger because people kept going to see them.
So we're talking to you, audience. Go out, see shows, support local music, support local venues.
If you'll pay $50 to $100 to go see a band that doesn't know you, for the cost of 30 cents of gas and a $5 beer, go see a local band.
Yeah.
You will have more fun. They'll hang out and talk to you, and you'll learn more about your local music scene and what's going on than going to see any big name act.
Yeah. It's true.
It's just what's
Heck,
up.
You get enthusiastic enough, they might throw you a free T-shirt. You never know.
Yeah, you know, maybe.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and call it good, I think, from here. But we want to leave you with another song off of the LP here. This next one is Boomerang. So we want to thank Isaac Turner. You can check out Isaac's music. You go to isaacturnermusic.com. He's also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Instagram, you're real active on there, right?
Yeah.
So that's Isaac Turner IT on Instagram, and then you've also got some stuff on YouTube. I can't speak.
That's all right.
As always, I'm Pelka. You can check me out on Twitter at NotPelka.
I'm Dave. You can check me out on Twitter at From the Dave Cave.
And you can check us out at the Salem Music Scene on Twitter or on Facebook or YouTube or SalemMusicScene.com. Thanks a lot, everybody. Keep it real.
She says things she don't mean just to push you away. She won't let go of your heartstrings. You can tell as you walk away. You won't get far in your car. There's still things you have to say. You see her face and she's
Cool.